to see you all. And my buddy just up the road. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, darling.
How are you?
You look great today. I'm loving the black and white.
Do you know what? This is the same fabric as some pants I had when I was 16. I found it months ago and I was like, oh, it's just like my old pants. That felt very exciting. How nice. I see we have some new faces in here today, which is lovely. Welcome to you. And I would like to invite you all, not just the new people, but everybody that's here, to jump into the chat and let us know who you are and what you do and how you help people. So if you can, I give you a little challenge to write it in less than 15 words. So it's like writing your superhero statement or your superpower statement. So for example, I would say, hi, I'm Kylie. I help businesses get visible online. See how I managed to say that in just a few words and make it really succinct. So Andrea, for example, her superpower statement could be, hi, I'm Andrea. I help people go from drab to fab. There you go. And then it makes us want to know more. We're like, what do you mean? What does she do? That's very exciting. So then you can leave your Facebook and your Instagram and all the different ways that people might manage to connect with you, a website if you have one, etc. So yes, give it a go and be brave. Pop it in there. Oh, well done, Petra. That's great. I love this, how you're saying you help people, you showcase your personality because people buy from people, and you post blogs and put shout outs on social media and help you reach your community. That's beautiful, Petra. Well done. All right. So what I'd like to invite you to do is to put your questions in the chat, as we have some, as you have some as we move along. We're looking at today Google My Business, which I know for some of you, you'll have already been using it, and it's just an opportunity to maybe have a little refresher on it. For others of you, you might not know anything about it. And so I'm going to help demystify the whole of Google My Business. And if you've still got questions, just feel free to pop those questions in the chat and I will get to them. And remember that at the end of today, you can click on the three dots and click on in the chat section and click on Save Chat. That way you can go and connect with everybody who's in here. And it's a great way to grow your accounts organically. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get stuck straight in to Google My Business. And let me just go click on present to make it bigger for you all. And here we go. Why your business needs Google My Business. So it's also referred to as GMB, but most often I just call it Google My Business. GMB, obviously not everybody would know what that is. So let's get going into it. So opportunities are abundant. Successful SEO, which is search engine optimization, is not about tricking Google. It's about partnering with Google to provide the best search results for Google users. So we want to do everything that we do should be about helping Google to help people to find us, to see what we have on offer. So that's what we're going to get stuck into. But just a quick introduction of me. Hi, I'm Kylie and I build brands. I help entrepreneurs and businesses get visible online so that they can attract their customers to them instead of chasing them. I work with people to help simplify their digital marketing because it can all be very overwhelming. For those that are not sure what digital marketing is, in a nutshell, it's basically the way that you are seen online. So everything from your website to your email marketing to your social media, of course, to your Google My Business, to all the different ways that people will see you online. And that's the area that I like to work with people. So I'm a speaker, coach, mentor, writer, designer, educator, presenter, content creator, and branding specialist. And it all comes under the banner of business coach specializing in digital marketing. And I also run a women's meetup group called Positive Passionate Business Women that you're all invited to find out more about. We have a Facebook group that you can join, and we have a monthly online meetup. I also do another webinar each week that's free for anybody to join, and that's the one that's down on the bottom right hand side. That's bite-sized conversation with Jenny and Kylie, and it's half an hour every Friday morning on a different topic to do with either business in general and how to structure your business and grow a business, as well as digital marketing. So we cover a myriad of topics, as well as the session that I do every Monday afternoon, helping with topics around digital marketing. So moving right along, let's have a little look at what is Google My Business. First thing you need to know is that little icon there is the one that you'll be looking out for. So you need to have the app on your phone as well as setting it up on your computer. And I just say that one of my team members, Honey, just updated this presentation for me, and she made a little GIF. Some of you might call it a GIF. I call it a GIF. And see that? That's very exciting. That's not a little video. That's a little GIF going on in the bottom there. So showing you how you would search and what would come up. So Google My Business is formerly known as Google Places Business, and it gives companies a fantastic opportunity to appear in Google search results. And the best thing about it is that your Google My Business listing is actually free, which is super awesome. So I'm just moving around my all the little photos of everybody there to get it out of the way. So it's time to upskill and grow, and think about how you can do that. And remember that unless you try to do something beyond what you've already mastered, you will never grow. So we should always be trying to learn more so that we can give more. So we need to think about how we can get found. And this is even before we even have a website. Even once we have a website, we need to constantly be working on how we can get found. So what is a Google My Business page? So it is the ability to list your business location on Google Maps and local search results. It's to display important information about your business, including the opening and closing times, a contact phone number, and a link to your website. The new feature allows you to post a link to articles or upcoming events. The listing is free and should be regarded as a necessity by all businesses. And if your business is an online business and you don't have a physical shop, then you should still consider having a Google My Business page. So for me, I have an office just a little bit away from my house. So I'm very much not a shop, and I still set up my Google My Business because it really helps to be found online. So improve your local search visibility by setting up your Google My Business listing. It's a really simple and effective way for your business to get found. And more search queries are becoming geographically specific, and Google's algorithms have been developed to consider user intent. Have you ever Googled, for example, places to eat near me or Italian restaurants near me? And you'll see that Google returns a list of 3 locations where you can eat based on your current location. And those businesses are one step closer to attracting you as a customer. And if they didn't have a Google My Business page, then they wouldn't have appeared. So whatever product or service you're selling, make local searches benefit your business. So as Google make regular changes to its algorithms, I've got a little spelling error there, sorry, to TIS algorithms. If you want to get found in local search, you need to have a Google My Business listing. But you can't just set it up and walk away and leave it. You need to do just the same as what you do with your social media and the same as what you do with your website. You need to be constantly updating and constantly evolving it so that it will be found, because Google loves fresh, and fresh is fresh content. So I'll show you very shortly how you can make your Google My Business fresh. But in the meantime, you've got to set it up first. So you need to sign up for your Google My Business account, create your listing. The way to find it is you can either just Google My Business and then claim your Google store name. And unfortunately, there's still a huge delay because of COVID, processing verifications and any changes within the platform. So the biggest tip that I can give you if you're just at the starting point of this is request the postcard first, then don't do anything else until it gets there. Now, that is a very odd thing, isn't it? That you might think that they're still sending out a physical in the postcard, but it's because they want to verify that that's definitely your address. And every time you make a change, every time you update the information that I'm about to show you, it delays the verification process. So make sure you hang fire, get that postcard, and get stuck into it. So tell me in the chat, guys, who has already got a Google My Business listing and who is waiting on that postcard, and also who hasn't got their postcard yet. That's another thing to consider also. So let's, yay, Sandra, yours is live. Kate says, I have one, but I have to change address. Leanne, yes, already have one set up. Charmaine, already listed. Yes, but it took ages to get my postcard. Alyssa, how long did it take you to get it? Because I've heard some people say 4 months, which is mind-blowing.
It was months. It was ages and ages. And a little tip, if you request a new one because you think it's gone missing, then the whole process has to start again.
Yes, that is unbelievably frustrating, isn't it? So I think that's what holds it up even more and more and more, is it's like it's putting more into the system, and it's pretty crazy. Brianna says it took ages over COVID for swim school to get card. Oh, yes, Brenda got one. It said today 6 days. Oh, that's good, Christine. Let's hope it's only 6 days. And Andrea's still waiting. Kate says, I never received one in Melbourne from 18 months ago. Kate, I've never received mine either, ever. So I just got on and did it. And then randomly, weirdly, I got a call from Google, like one of those automated calls saying, is this your address? Blah, 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 blah. Yes. And then I got a message saying you are now verified. Like, how bizarre is that? That's like 3 years ago. So you're supposed to get a postcard. And that is what's supposed to happen, but clearly that doesn't always work. Oh, and she says, now I'm back on the Central Coast. Yeah, it's a funny business, this Google thing. So it's worth persevering at the beginning and trying to get there and waiting for your card. So everybody's dashboard, and we come to a dashboard. Just as you go to, on Facebook, you go to your homepage, for example. On Instagram, you would go to your bio. And the same is with Google My Business, and the same also with the back end of your website. You would always go to your dashboard first. So everybody's dashboard is going to be a little bit different depending where you're at with your Google My Business account set up. So the first thing you need to do is try and make sure that your profile is up to 100%. And if it's not, then it won't show up here on your dashboard. So you need to look at the tabs on the left, which is not the screenshot I'm showing you here. Oh, let me just turn this off. It's in my back pocket, which is a weird place for my phone to be. And I'll just turn off the sound and come back to where I was. Yay, can you all see that?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so the tabs on the left, not these ones, as I said, but on the left when I show you the dashboard, you need to start at the top and work all the way through them. And the info tab will really help you show up where you need to be. Now, the reason I put this little screenshot here on the right is that this is the screenshot of the Google My Business phone app. Now, I couldn't figure out a few years ago now why on earth it kept saying that I was like at 90% of my setup and never was getting to 100%. So what I had to do was go onto the app, and then I had to actually set up the messages, and that completed the setup. Very strange, but that's just how it was. So make sure that you have got your Google My Business app downloaded and that you've set up that messages section, and then you'll be good to go on 100%. So these are the most important things that I can tell you about Google My Business, because everything about Google My Business is based on these three things. The first one is location, the second is relevance, and the third is prominence. So location means the proximity that your business is to where people are searching from. When I said earlier, if I was typing in Italian restaurants near me, then that's where the location comes in, and it would show me the three main ones that were listed on Google My Business near me. Relevance is whatever the search term is that people are searching, how relevant that is to what is on your Google My Business profile. So if I typed in Italian restaurants near me, clearly the Indian restaurants wouldn't show up. It would be showing up the Italian. But if you are a restaurant that is like catering to everybody and not a specific type of restaurant, then make sure that you're really displaying that in your search. Prominence is, the reason being that if I don't have an Italian restaurant near me, then the next ones would come up that weren't Italian, but that were something more like a generic restaurant. Next is prominence, how well known a business is, plus the information that Google has about a business from across the web, like links and articles and directories, etc. One of the important things that people don't realize is that social media plays a big part in what will show up when people are Googling for you and your business or something like you, so that you will show up. So if you've got a current Facebook page where you're regularly posting and LinkedIn, then they will all show up in a Google search. So the first thing when you come here, and you'll see on the screenshot on the right, if I was Googling digital marketing agency Bangalore, which is where I live, the first thing you'll see are always the ads. Then the next section is the square down here. This is called the local pack, and that will always show up next. If there's no ads in that area, then you won't see the ads. You'll just see the local pack right at the top. And this is where you want to show up. So the local pack is all the Google My Business profile listings. So depending on where you show up, it all relates directly to your location, your relevance, and your prominence. And while you might be directly within someone's local area, if you're not meeting the other two criteria, then you won't show up where you want to. So therefore, your location, your relevance, and your prominence are super, super, super important when you're setting that up. You'll notice when you look over here on the right, you can see that there are stars which relate to the reviews. There's an address, there's a phone, tells you the hours, and it even has the first line of somebody's review, which happens to be just at a Google My Business digital marketing webinar with Kylie. There's also, it goes straight through to the website, or there's directions to how to get here. The next one's down, how's that one? No names digital, no reviews, but they're an advertising agency. So they probably need to get on board with Google My Business and set up their listing. And also the other thing is, I can't say enough how important it is to get reviews. And we'll talk about that a little bit more soon for how you can make your listing better. So the first thing is the Google Maps, being obviously a Google My Business product. It's really, really important that you show up there. So initially, I didn't really want my address there. So what I used was my local post office. So I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. But then after a while, I just kind of realized, you know what, it doesn't matter. If somebody did actually happen to turn up, it's not a super big deal. It's unlikely anyone would do that. But at least it will really help me with getting found on Google. The next thing is to tell you that all the Google My Business listings are on the left-hand side. And depending on where people search will determine how they're going to find you. An increase in how many people are searching directly within Google Maps app on the phone as well. It's not always via desktop and Google search on a mobile phone. So if you have a little think about your own habits when you're going somewhere or looking for something, people will often these days pull up maps and then type in, for example, I was recently on the Gold Coast, we were looking for somewhere to eat nearby and we wanted Japanese. So rather than go onto Google and Google it, what we did was we opened up map and I typed in Japanese restaurants, and then up came the ones that had been listed with Google My Business. So well and truly important for you to think about that. What you do with maps is incredibly important. So you need to give yourself more opportunities to be found by listing more than one category. So if you're in hospitality or you're a restaurant, you'll have options to then add in the menu, which is pretty great. If you're just starting out, add one category at a time. And you do have to have face-to-face interaction. So if you're entirely an e-commerce business, then they say that you're not eligible for a Google My Business account. But there are ways to get around that. Even though Google takes it really seriously, they're constantly reviewing accounts. But if you think about it, you might be an online business with, selling products, but there might be a time then someone might come to your house to pick something up, or a courier might drop something off. So that's the way I would get around being able to have one of those listings as well. So let's have a little look at reviews, because reviews are one of the most important things. You'll notice that when we saw my Google My Business listing in the locals pack, that one of the first things you saw was the stars. You saw how many reviews that was, and then underneath that you saw even a line from one of those. So really, really important. And so you need to be asking for those reviews, and then you need to respond to them. So what that means is you'll get a link in Google My Business, and it will say you can give that link to people when you ask for a review, and then make sure that when they've left a review that you go on in and you say, hey, thanks so much for that review, that kind of thing. Also, just as important, if you get a shitty review, that you really need to go and respond to that shitty review. Don't try and contact Google and say, I want this taken down, blah, 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 because it'll be a nightmare and a massive, massive challenge. You're better off responding to it and showing your awesomeness by, maybe you need to say thanks for the feedback. You really appreciate it. Maybe you need to say, hey, why not come back in again and let us show you how well we can do. It might have just been an off night. Sorry, we had a staff member that was having an off night, or whatever it is. try and respond and show what's awesome about your business in the way that you respond to it. So let's also now talk about the hours. That bit's really important. If you try and do this, where you update your hours at the start of each year, then you won't suddenly get into the middle of Easter, be closed and have people trying to contact you and you hadn't actually put on your Google My Business that you were closed. So go through it at the very beginning of the year, work out, excuse me, all the public holidays, all the hours that you're going to be closed for. It might be that you're going away for 2 weeks. Shan't be overseas at this point, shall it? But it'll be, you might be having just a general break or something. So make sure you put them in as soon as you possibly can. And always add those extra things like public holidays and bits and pieces like that. The next cool thing is that people can call you directly from the Google My Business account, and they don't need to go through to your website. So make sure that your contact information is correct and it's up to date. So this here is the phone number, obviously, and it tells you all the different bits and pieces that you need to know. And if they're looking at that up on their phone, they can literally press it and it will dial straight through. So it's a very, very good thing, and definitely get it. The next one is setting up your Google My Business website. So this is pretty amazing. It's free. And for those of you that don't have a website already, definitely set up your Google My Business website. It is amazing. And for those of you that do have a website, make sure you also set up your Google My Business website, because it's just another way that people can find you. On mine, it says here, one of the first buttons is make appointment. And when you click that button, it takes you to my real website. And what in the very first line, it says, explore more on our site at, and puts that in. And as you go down, there's more buttons that take you to the real website. So make sure that you have all of that set up. It's very simple to do. It's this top one here. That's the only thing that's slightly different. And that was a graphic that I made to go at the top of that Google My Business website. But it could just be a photo. It could be anything that you want. So Google My Business also is a way of doing social media posts. They last only for 7 days. So that means that you need to post on Google My Business at least once a week to have a post actively showing on the search results page. You've got up to 1,500 characters for the details of your post, and the ideal length is around 150 to 300 characters. So think of it exactly like a Facebook post or a LinkedIn post. And so it's not like you have to come up with new content. You can use the same content and just put it up on Google My Business. And there's a little link here for you to go and have a little look a bit more about that side of things that Google have put out, which can just be in the chat for you in a couple of moments to keep a lookout for that. So before we go on and have a little look at the live Google My Business, here's a wee summary of what you really need to think about and get sorted. Number one is set up a Google My Business account for your business so that you'll appear more in Google search results. Number two, your location, your relevance, and your prominence are really important. Number three is improve your Google search ranking by adding more categories to your account. And number four, if you're still in the starting phase of your Google My Business account, don't do anything else yet until your card arrives, not code. Sorry, there's a little typo there. And update your information at the beginning of each year. So you need to get visible online. Each time you sit down to create your post, ask yourself, is what I'm about to post going to help, inspire, motivate, or add value in some way? That is not just for your Google My Business post. That's for all of your social media posts. It's for your LinkedIn, for your Instagram, etc. Are you doing it just because you think you should and you need to get a post out there? Or are you actually going to add some value or motivate someone to do something? Take action. That's what we want to do. So the next thing is, before we go and look at it all live, a few little bits of notices. The first thing is, in the Hello Media Facebook group, the pinned post that you can find when you get in there is the, what have I called it? I've called it the follow ladder. So that means that you can put a little post in the comments, or write something in the comments where you just say what you do and what your page and a group is, an account, Instagram, etc., etc. So make sure that you jump onto that, because it's a really great way, again, to grow your account organically. So you go and follow everyone else and they will come and follow you. So a really good idea there. So find it. It's the pinned post in the Hello Media Facebook group, which I believe will be in the chat very shortly. So going forward, get stuck into Google My Business today. Will you? I'm about to move on over and show you very soon. And I'll also come and answer your questions. So now more than ever, people want to see the human side of a brand. So show the world what you stand for. Be more purpose-driven, more human, more imperfect, and more real. And maybe it's time for you to grow your website, not just grow your Google My Business. So we have a 3-day masterclass coming up for either those of you that sell products online, which you'd be going with Shopify, or those that want a brochure style of website, which is we would be doing that with Wix. So it's only 2 full days and the other 2 are half days. And you break off into 2 different sections, one that's building a product-based website and one that's building a brochure style website. For those of you that want to join in with that, there's a link in the chat, and I think we're down to 2 spots left for that masterclass. They're very, very small so that you can completely literally walk away with your website set up and ready to go. You also learn about keywords. So the first session is all about SEO, finding out about keywords, how to weave them through your content. Then, of course, there's the sessions on how to build that site. And then the second to last day is all about how to drive traffic to your website, because it's all very well having a site, but you need to know how to get that traffic there. And then the final session is all about how to convert that traffic. So make those people that appear on your website actually stay and shop or book your service or learn more about you, rather than just bouncing off and disappearing, because that also will help your Google ranking. So next week, the digital marketing webinar topic is my 5-step Hello Visibility method, how to get visible online and get that know, like, and trust factor. So if you want to register for that now, it's free. It's at 2:45 next Monday. You can just lift up your phone, open up your camera app and scan that QR code, or you'll be able to see it in the chat very shortly also. And this Friday, it is our podcast, our webinar is, the topic is how can we use digital marketing to grow? So there you go. You can scan that one also, and that's Friday, 9:15 a.m. That's New South Wales time. Okay, so be not afraid of growing slowly, be afraid only of standing still. So let's get in and create, have a little look at the Google My Business as it stands today for Hello Media. So I'm going to type in here, there's so many little windows that pop around. I'm constantly moving them on my screen. Okay, so let's go, for example, digital marketing agency Bangalore. And you will see that these are the ads up the very top. The next thing that you see from this map down to here is the people or the businesses that have done their Google My Business listing. So the first one is actually an ad. The second one is me, which is why you see a little tick, because it says I manage this business profile. Then of course we've got all those other bits and pieces, and then off we go and we can find out more about it. So if we click onto here, it's taking us to maps. We can find out a little bit more, and sitting in there is all the information. So I've listed 2 products in there, which is just the one-on-one business coaching and the group coaching as well. But you can then go and explore those categories. There's questions and answers that people can ask you a question and you can answer them. That is obviously they're the most recent post that I put up. There's the reviews. There's all kinds of things that people can find out about your business. Tells me also what people are searching for and web results. So lots and lots and lots of information to be found there. So let's go in though and take a little look at Google My Business. So for those of you that don't know how to get in there, when you log into your Google, you'll have up on the top right hand here, there's that little picture of me, and it says that's my Google account that I'm logged in with that email address. Then you'll have those 9 little dots. So click on those. The one to find is this one, the My Business. That said, it won't necessarily be there on yours. There's so many different Google products, but you can rearrange them. That's why mine's at the top, so I can get into it easily. So we're going to click on that, and we're in. So first thing is, the keep customers up to date, get started, etc., etc. You'll notice here I can create a post. I can add a photo, I can make an ad from there. I can let people know what's recent about COVID-19 updates. That's not relevant in my business, but if you're a restaurant and you're in a place like, for example, in Auckland right now, obviously your restaurant will be closed. So very important to be updating all that kind of stuff as much as you can. You'll notice this is your latest post. So that's the same post that we put on social media, just letting people know about the Google My Business webinar. And it tells me I can just go and create a new post if I want to. I'm able to go in there and manage my reviews. This is reminding me to download the app for it. I can add managers into my Google My Business. It doesn't have to just be just you. Now it's telling me again that I haven't finished my business profile setup. This is happening all the time. So this time it just tells me to add a logo. So it goes to 100%, then it comes back and says, do something else that they introduce. That is the nature of the beast. As you know, with social media and everything, it is constantly being updated. So that's your home base there. So now let's go down the left-hand side. And you'll notice that it doesn't just say Hello Media. It says Hello Media Digital Marketing Coach, because all of that is helping with you being found. So if we were thinking of, for example, Sandra, who's in here today. Hi, Sandra. Now, Sandra is an amazing jewelry artist, and she makes it all herself, and it's inspired by nature and Australian nature and all kinds of beautiful things. So, and it's also silver. So if Sandra just wrote on here, Renata Designs, then that could be graphic design, that could be website design, that could be landscape designs, it could be anything. So Sandra needs to write then Renata Designs, unique Australian silver jewelry or something like that. So she's putting a keyword in there to help with being found. So the next thing we're going to go to, and then of course you see address, etc. The next one we're going to go down to is posts. Now we only post in here, I think it's twice a week. And basically we have once a week tells people about the digital marketing webinar. The other one tells them about the Friday webinar. So you'll notice that's pretty much all we've got going on in there. And they're not new posts. They're what we already have that we're already putting onto Facebook. So look at this. This is pretty cool. This one's only from an hour ago. So it's not, that's why we can't look at insights yet. But we can click on share post. And then I can choose if I want to share it onto Facebook or where, or view it on Google, et cetera, et cetera. So you've got a fair few options to do there. Next one on the left-hand side. Oh, and of course in here you can be doing an offer, an update, an event, add a product. So particularly if you've got a business selling things, that add product feature is a serious bonus. Okay, on the left-hand side, let's go down to the next one, which is info. This is where you're going to spend a lot of your time setting it up. So you'll notice that I've got a bunch of categories here. And so none of them were exactly perfect because I can't put in there business coach or digital marketing coach, but I can put other things in that kind of will help to give the full picture. So make sure that if you haven't optimized even this bit here with, you know, where I said, it's not just Hello Media, it's digital marketing coach, then that's the spot to do it, is under info and go to the little pencil to edit it. Same with down here, you can add all the different categories that you want to. Then of course, this is really important that I talk to you about, So I have seen where people just list Australia because they sell online everywhere in Australia, but that's not going to help with a Google search. So make sure, so for me, for example, because I work with people all over the place, I just put in places where a lot of people are that I work with. So people that are Googling, it will come up. So you can keep adding more and change whatever you like there, but it's important to think, don't just put in Australia at that point. You can put in hours, you can put in, this here is, I'll show you in the moment, that's how it's going to all sorts of good things to do with the Google My Business website. See, I've put in appointment links is actually my own real website. And there's the services that I do. There's what else? Just a little blurb there. So very, very similar to what you're already putting on Facebook. And up here on the right, we've got, if we wanted to put all these things in, we could. So store codes and all kinds of things. Okay, next one down is insights, where you can look at how you're performing up, down, roundabout, and all that kind of stuff. Next one is reviews. Reviews, as I said, are super, super important. And you'll notice that I always jump in there and respond to those reviews as soon as I can. So make sure that you absolutely respond to your reviews. Next one is messages. And there will be none because I'm not so interested in the message section. For me, there's already enough places that people can leave you a message. When you think about email, Instagram direct messages, Facebook personal messages, what about your Facebook business page messages, which is what we use a chatbot for, thank goodness, and it's brilliant. And it's just, for me, there's just way too many places. People want to WhatsApp you, text you. Oh, is anybody else feeling like I am, where you're just completely overwhelmed with the amount of ways that people can contact you? So for me, even though I needed to set this up to finish setting up Google My Business, I then also didn't make that happen because I just did not want another place. Okay, the next one is photos. For some of you, they might be photos that are, you know, photos of you at work, etc., etc. For me, what I've done is posts, for example, like here, these are all our blog posts. So when it comes up, like, for example, here's a blog post that we wrote all about Google receives over 63,000 searches per second on any given day. So that's a blog post all about why you really need to be working your SEO, for example. We have heaps of videos on here as well. So they're just all our little brand message videos. So you can see all these little plays. That's heaps and heaps of little brand message videos. So lots of things going on. If, like me, you also have a super random photo, which is this one, very strange. That was like 12 years ago before we built our house. And really odd, isn't it, that that's still the photo that Google is showing, which isn't a problem to me. I don't need it to be my actual house or anything like that, but it just shows you that things aren't really updated very quickly by Google. And also I can't delete it. It's just there. So if yours is a random picture that you don't really want to be there, make sure you put a whole bunch of other stuff in and get that happening. Okay, next thing is products. So as I said before, I only put those two products in there, which is telling people about one-on-one business coaching and telling people about group coaching. There, of course, are other things that I could put in there, but I just didn't see that as a necessity for me so much. If you sell a product, I think that'd be a great thing there. Or if you're a service that people come and book a service, for example, like Andrea with a hair salon and putting in, she may not do men, so therefore I know she does, but therefore you would just mention all the things that you do for the women, for example. So lots and lots of things of ways to think about how you would be putting up your products in that spot. Then you've got services. So I've put all these different things and I can add more and more and more and more and more that I want to. So definitely be thinking about that. Now, this is the bit that's getting guys excited though. So this is the website. Now, don't get too excited, or like, it is very exciting, but don't get too excited because there's not a lot that you can change. I'll show you when you click on themes, that's it. Literally 10 to choose from, that is it. And I have tried to change it to that one there, but it won't change over for some bizarre reason. I've tried a number of times and it just stays on that other greeny one. So you can see you can't change your font, you can't change anything. All you can do is change those colors and choose what you want. So try and have it as close to your branding as you possibly can. So let's go and have a little look at what that website looks like to anybody that was just finding it randomly. So firstly, it looks like a full website. We've got the top section, we've got whatever image you want to put there. We've got updates. So those are what I was telling you about with those like social media updates that we've got. Then we go straight down into testimonials. And then it says you can read them all. It says you can also write a review yourself. This was the little spiel that I'd put in there when I said to you, it's sort of similar to your Facebook about section. Then there's the gallery. And I said on ours, it's more about to do with what's going on with our blog post. There's the contact section, call now and get directions and business hours. So that's it from this section here. If we click over here on make an appointment, see what happens. It takes you directly to our website. This one here, if we click on call now, if I was on my phone and I click call now, it would automatically ring through. And of course, get directions will open up Google Maps. On the left-hand side, see the 3 lines? Does anybody know what the 3 lines are called?
Menu.
Pardon?
Menu.
They're called a hamburger.
Well, close.
Yeah. So yes, it is taking you to a menu, but the 3 lines on anything where you see those 3 lines, forevermore, you'll know that is called the hamburger. So we click the hamburger and you'll see on the left-hand side, updates, testimonials, about us, gallery, contact. So it looks like it's quite a full website, but actually look what happens. I click on testimonials and it just takes me to that section. I click on contact and it takes me to that section. So this is in effect a 1-page landing page. That's all it is. But it's a fantastic thing to set up because it really, really helps with everything that Google is looking for, or helps people to be found when they're Google searching, finding you is what I should say. And also it's really helpful if you don't have a website already. As I said, if you do have a website, definitely set it up, because it's going to help you with all the Google searches anyway. So make sure you do that. Okay, so next is after the website. Oh, and as I said, all those things in here, I didn't put those in. That's automatically put in according to how I'd set up my Google My Business. The only thing that I did put in was just that one image there, which is the header photo. I felt it was really important to have a bit of an overview there. Some people might just want to have a picture of a product or something. Completely up to you. I just read Andrea's, a royal with cheese. Andrea, I'm juice fasting at the moment. And so, I even had little heart palpitations even when I said the word hamburger. Okay, so the next one down under website is users. So users is who is using this. Obviously in me, it's in here, it's me with my team. So then we can have the next section, which I want you to ignore, which is create an ad. The reason that I want you to ignore it is it's amazing how many people book a discovery call with me and they say, I'm spending so much money on Google ads and Facebook ads, and I'm still not getting conversions on my website, or people buying or booking or whatever. So then we just pull it back and we check out what they're doing on social media, what they're doing with their website. And then I'm like, so really that money you're spending on ads is basically just being flushed down the toilet, because unless you've worked on your own SEO, unless you've worked on getting really amazing social media posts that have got great engagement and you're writing really great captions, etc., and you're attracting the people that you want to work with you or want to buy from you, then that money is not going to be money well spent. So make sure that you look at those things first. So before you ever click on create an ad, think about, have I done everything I possibly can to be found? Have I optimized my site? Have I looked at my keywords? All those other kind of things first before you ever go and then spend some money. There's also here about you might want to add a new business, get a custom Gmail, look at businesses, links to ads, settings, and support, etc. The support that Google offers on Google My Business is amazing. So the link that Merlin put in the chat, which was it's the support.google.com/business, etc. Once you're in that section, just start exploring, because there's a lot of help there that you can get. Now, one more thing to tell you is that the website, if you didn't have a website yourself and this was going to be your website, can you see up here in this little section, it's hellomedia.business.site. That's not a bad domain name, is it really? So you can have whatever you like to have written in there, or whatever you're setting it up as. And so it's not like it says blah, 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 Google free website or anything like that. It's just the name .business.site, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm going to stop the share now and see about questions. And other than royal with cheese. Oh, okay, so Kate says, I have a couple of side businesses. Can I set them up as well? Yes, you can. I got confused ages ago trying to add them. Yes, you can. And did you see that bit that I was just in down the left-hand side? Yes, great. Do that. Cool. Next question is, oh no, that was a little wee message to me. So I don't think there is another question. Let me know if anybody has a question. And Honey just reminded me to take a photo. Let's take a photo, guys. Turn your cameras on and we're going to count down from 3. If you can turn your cameras on. All right, then. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Those of us with cameras on made up for those that didn't. All right, guys. So,
can I ask
the
a
answer,
question, please?
yes, of course. Yes.
Oh, now I've forgotten what it was. Yeah, my side business, I do a couple of, I guess, party plan, direct sales. So with the products, can I set those up as like my customer VIP pages with an outline, promote the products which we're given by the direct sales company?
What do you mean, Kate? What kind of products do you do?
Okay, Tupperware. Don't laugh.
I love a bit of Tupperware.
I do a craft retreat and there was a great joining offer and I wanted the micro pressure cooker. So I joined and I'm having so much fun. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm having so much fun doing it.
That's great.
And I've sold nearly $2,000 worth. So I'm thinking of that one. And the other one is called Flavorista and it's an Australian company. It's all manufactured on the in Queensland. There's no gluten, no nuts, no numbers. Really great product to use with, just natural products. Yep.
Flavorista. I've never heard of that one.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Interesting. So the first question would be, what do they allow you to do?
Okay. I don't know. I've set up my pay. You can have a Facebook page, you can have a Facebook group, and you can promote everything. That they've actually got a content creator with Tupperware in particular. The other one, Flavorista, they give you all the slides so you can do all your Instagram posts and make stories and all the tiles and things like that. So they're very keen for you to get it out there. We're all independent consultants. Yeah, so I guess I need to ask them the question.
Yeah, so the reason I ask is that I was discussing with a client this morning in our group coaching session that I had been on Marketplace yesterday and there was heaps and heaps and heaps of doTERRA oils. And this particular client is a doTERRA whiz. And she said, actually, they're not allowed to have them there. But what can doTERRA do? Like, it would be like a full-time job, just trying to find where people are breaking the rules and putting it. So you don't want to be in trouble. So my suggestion would be look it up, find out what you're allowed to do, and then go and put it up for sure. But what about, instead of it being different businesses that you're setting it up as, it could be all just about you, Kate, and you sharing amazing lifestyle products.
That's the other thing, because I've just lost 23 kilos since July.
Good on you.
My cholesterol is normal for the first time, or it's the first time it's not in its high 7s for 30 years. And
congratulations.
I'm not diabetic and all of that. So I was actually thinking of doing a blog, trying to combine them all to be something different and put my spin on it.
Yes, I think that's an excellent idea. But because
I'm
also
a boring bookkeeper and BAS agent, but I'm not, I'm a Gemini, so I'm split down the middle. I need that structure, but I need the creative side as well.
Yeah. Well, I think that if you had it under a banner, then if other things joined and other things left, it doesn't matter because it still comes under the banner of lifestyle or, wellness or healthy lifestyle or whatever it is that you want to call it. Because, you might all of a sudden decide to do essential oils, or you might all of a sudden decide to do some kind of...
I'm already doing doTERRA.
Oh, there you go. Well,
that's for my personal use. Yeah.
Well, you never know. You might end up selling them, or you might add, vitamins to the mix. Who knows what you might end up doing. So if you had it under an umbrella, rather than try to set it up as different businesses, I think it'd be easier for you. Also, loads of fun things for you to post about on social media. So, it could be Monday's my oils day, Tuesday's my, inspiration for organizing and sorting, like Tupperware is all about that, isn't it? I love an organized fridge, and pantry for that matter. So, each day of the week you would be focusing on one of the different aspects of the business.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fantastic. Thank you for that. I appreciate that because that's what I'd like to do. But yeah, my current website, after I sent the postcard off from Melbourne 18 months ago to Google, a few days later, I had a phone call from a company made out that they were Google to fix up my website and do my SEO. And they were called Search It Local. So don't get scammed by them.
Cheeky buggers.
And
I'm waiting for Alyssa to be just
I gave
shaking
them
her
my
head.
logins, and because I had my credit card attached, gave them they just automatically set up. I didn't even see it, and they made me out as an accountant doing all this stuff that I'm not qualified to do because I'm a bookkeeper and a BAS agent, and I could have got struck off.
Yeah.
So my website is shite.
Oh,
I was just thinking of doing this one when you said it's the website, because I just don't know what to do.
yeah. There's so many scammers out there, and it's super dodgy. Alyssa, who's in here today, she's a WordPress. Do you say you're a WordPress developer, Alyssa? Yeah. And she specializes in SEO, and so helping people get found. And honestly, wouldn't you agree? There's just so many scammers out there.
So many scammers. You know what? Like, I even just got a message, a letter posted to me today, just even to update my business name. Now, Kate, you're a bookkeeper. You'll probably be on top of this as well. But yeah, it comes from a private company, and it sort of like alludes to the fact that they are the ones that you need to register your business name through. Mind you, it'll cost you 3 times.
Register. Yeah, I know. And it's like your subscription is due, and it's not. It's a scam.
Yeah. And the amount of money that they've got out of people is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And what can you do? Nothing.
Not much. It's
no.
bad.
Rip it up and put it in the bin, but it's shocking. Be careful, guys. The same goes with emails. Like, I get loads of emails from PayPal, which are not actually from PayPal at all, saying, click here, update your details, and such a scam. Dodgy. Andrea.
No, I just said about the PayPal thing. I get them all the time.
Oh, it's shocking, isn't it? So shocking.
You told PayPal, I don't want it.
No, that's right. I believe Alyssa does know Divi Theme. Is that right, Alyssa? Yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to find you.
It's a jam.
Lime Soda Digital.
Sorry?
Lime Soda Digital.
Thank you.
Yep.
Great. Petra says her hosting provider has great catching mechanism. That is awesome. Mine must too, Petra, because I don't get that many. And in fact, less and less, which is lucky. But yes, such a pain. And I know there's a lot of older people that have been caught out by those scams and lost many squillions, which is shocking. So are there any questions around Google My Business, or whether you should or shouldn't set up the website on it, or anything like that anybody would like to know? Alyssa?
I just have a question. So, you know the questions bit? I know I've heard before that you can ask yourself questions.
Yes.
Can you do that?
Yes, but it will also show that you've asked. So
Okay.
That's why I haven't done it. So you're better off getting your husband to ask the questions. Yeah, and then it doesn't look so special. So with my reviews, when I was setting up Hello Media, because Hello Media used to come under the banner of my other business. So even though I've been doing this for a very long time, it didn't have its own business name. Then when I was going to getting ready to sell the other business, and I was going to do this one on its own, I thought, oh, quickly I'll set up all those things. So I decided there was no reviews there, so I wrote my own one, and I made it really clear. I had a little giggle doing it and going, just giving myself a review about myself. But unfortunately, it keeps popping up, even though there's heaps of reviews since then. It's the one that often gets shown, and I'm like, oh, it just makes me look super tragic. So maybe just try and not do that, Alyssa. Cool. So Julie says, Kate, can you please put the link in here for the natural food mob? Yeah, good idea. And I tried to set it up, and it stopped me from sending a test email. What was in that, Petra?
It's a little bit above the new V3 reCAPTCHA. If I asked if anybody has tried it.
Yeah, good question. Alyssa probably has.
Yeah, I've used it. What happened?
I set it up, and then I tried like with the integration and everything step by step, And then I sent myself a test email and it wouldn't let me send the email.
Okay. Sometimes you just got to make sure that you've got the right. So when you go into your Google account for the reCAPTCHA, you just need to make sure that you've definitely, you've definitely chosen.
Yeah, I got all those. But then I went onto the contact page of my website and just tried to send a test, and it said, no, not sending this. So it's a bit too efficient. That's all I'm saying. So I took it off for now. It's not a problem.
Right. What platform's your website on? That's really interesting.
It's WordPress. Yes, and all that. Yeah, I put it myself.
Oh, well, at least you know you're not going to get spammed.
No,
Yeah.
and as I said, my hosting provider is excellent. They've got a lot of tools and all that. And the ones that I catch, they're not that scary. But I just put them in a nice spam folder, and they don't bother me anymore.
That's fantastic. So guys, there's a great suggestion that Samita's written, which in the chat, which is would people like to give each other Google reviews, which is a wonderful idea. And thank you for doing mine, Samita. I appreciate that. So all you need to do, guys, is go and put it in the chat, the link to your Google reviews. And I think you'll see mine's in here just to give you an example of how that works. I'm not sure. Did you get it in there, Merlin? Or if not, are you able to put it in, please? It could be, or it could be coming soon. But it's a really wonderful thing to do for each other. Just as a rule of thumb, I try and do 2 reviews per week for people, whether it's a cafe I've been to or a product that I've bought, and I'll jump on and do a review on Google, and then I'll copy and paste it and put it as a Facebook review too. Sometimes they prefer it like as a TripAdvisor review or something, but always a good idea if you can to give reviews, because I don't know about you guys, but I personally always read reviews when I'm looking for something that I'm needing to buy and I'm trying to do a bit of research on it, or I'm hardly going to book to pay a lot of money to someone to work with them about something if I haven't looked at their reviews. So definitely a good idea. And see what Merlin just wrote. You can leave a review for Kylie at on Google. So you guys can just have a little line like that with your own review link and just be sharing that over and over in all different places. So when I'm doing a speaking gig or presenting a workshop or something, then I'll just Merlin or Honey will put that into the chat and towards the end and just say, if you really enjoyed that, please go and leave a review. Of course, not everybody will do that, but if you can get them doing that, that is fantastic. And then she's put in the Hello Media Facebook page reviews too, which is great. So very easy, guys, once you've done it, to just copy and paste and put it in the next place. So is everybody all over the asking for reviews? Oh, and Leanne had a question. And Leanne, I'm not sure if you saw that on Friday, I sent you a little video about how to do that.
Did you? No, I didn't see that, Kylie. Is that in the group, in that
Your support team chat? Yeah. I can't remember if it was Merlin or Honey, or maybe one of them I said, hey, thanks. Oh, Friday afternoon it was. And then Merlin said that they'd figured it out together. So it's in our support team.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll try and find that. Okay,
no worries.
I'll try and find it. Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks.
I agree, Charmaine. It's a great idea. And thank you, Samita. Okay, guys, any last questions before we tootle off for our Monday afternoon? Carry on with work. All right. Well, I hope I will see you next week to talk about my 5-step strategy for getting visible on social media. So what I'd love to do now is for you guys to jump into the chat and let me know, what was your aha moment from today? What was something that you learned that you didn't know before? You're welcome, Kate. Something that you knew, but maybe you just needed a reminder about. For example, if you've already got your Google My Business set up, are you actually going and doing those social posts once a week? Such a good idea. And as I said, even just once a week is enough, because they disappear after 7 days. But if you can do more than that, then that's great. Susie said, Google website, great idea. Yay. Kate says, how is it? There's a website on Google My Business. Good. Good on you, Sharon, to go back and finish it. That's good. Social posts on Google My Business. Yes, Petra, so good. And no drama, because you're just going to copy paste the ones that you're already putting out there in other places. Isabel says, everything was new to me and I'm overwhelmed with this Google My Business thing. Yes, I think everybody is, Isabel, because there's so many things to update. For Andrea, it was the hamburger. Now, every time you see the 3 lines, Andrea, you can go, beef, cheesy. Yeah, do the post, Alyssa. That is good. Linking my Google My Business to my website. Yeah, I think it's a really important one, Charmaine, because you don't want people to find that one and assume that's all there is. So by linking it in many different ways throughout, it's a good idea. Julie says, needing to extra work with posting in Google. Yes, absolutely. I've just tried to find my Google My Business on Google account, but can't find it. And Samantha says, we'll post reviews on the links provided. Me too. I'll do that too. Thanks, guys. And the hamburger, I love it. So Kate, I wonder why. Are you logged into the right Google account? And did you click on the 9 dots? You're on mute. Brenda, you were slow to the... Brenda's usually on mute monitor.
No, sorry. I was looking and yes, it says permanently closed. So I've got to redo it.
That's an exciting opportunity to make it.
I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you don't have to bother with all those crappy photos that they're providing of a block of land before you build or anything like that. It's just new and fresh, which will be lovely.
Yeah, because it didn't look anything like what you've showed us today.
Right.
When I started afresh. It was very confusing when I was adding, because I had one business, I was a sole trader as a bookkeeper, and then I became a company, and that was years ago, and it was just a nightmare to try and add them. Yeah.
So I think, Kate, the first thing for you would be coming up with a business name that you want to put them all under the banner of. You know, like lifestyle umbrella. You could even literally call it that, and have a really cool umbrella logo with, and you could just add different features into it. You have cool icons. I'm already picturing the whole thing. But
thank you.
Anyway, lovely to see you guys, and have a wonderful week. And I look forward to seeing you either on Friday or for digital marketing, the topic is, or Monday next week to talk about social media. So have a wonderful week, guys. Join me in the Hello Media Facebook group and ask any questions that you have anytime. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Kylie. Bye.
Thank you.